Hello everyone. I just wanted to touch base with you all. I know it's been a little while. We've been busy at work. I just got home from church today and I thought I would make this live update. We have finished the cowboy experience, which I know you know. That was a whole lot of fun. It was wonderful to get to know Danielle and Julie and Paula and John. It was wonderful to have all of them here, and I think I might do it again. It was kind of fun. And we were able to get some cows gathered and rounded up. And then the last couple of weeks, we've still been on horseback, gathering up the rest of the calves. We took them to auction, another 47 calves. But in the meantime, my daughter, we were transporting a calf on her saddle, and she was sitting on the rump of the horse, and the calf got to wiggling, and it spooked the horse, and off came the calf and my daughter. And it looks like Tian's going to have surgery on Tuesday to put a pin in her finger. She broke her finger. It just kind of twisted it really but good. Anyways, so she's going to have a bionic finger when we get done. And the process goes on. We've still got some more calves to find, and branding's coming up in May, and then I'm going to be moving into summer range. A lot of work, but I'm going back on the road for the month of April, so I'll be in Texas and back east to some different states on the East Coast. I'm excited to get back out there and to see all of you and to talk with you and to share with you the documentary series on Malheur. I want to give you a little update on the court proceedings. My attorneys brought to my attention that the Oregon State Police had requested a hearing with the judge because the Oregon State Police attorney is suffering from cancer, and was asking for a 180-day stay of the case. Well, of course, the other defendants are quite excited about a delay, right? So I was kind of upset about that. I thought, oh, 6 months? We're going to delay it 6 months? Why can't they just appoint another attorney to cover the Oregon State Police's part of it in this case? But no. That's not what happened. They met Thursday, and the judge did grant his 180-day stay. But she did also grant some things that our attorneys were asking for. For instance, they finally approved the amended complaint, and it's been on hold for quite some time. But they finally approved the amended complaint. They also approved the addition of all the officers that we located through that trial of that FBI agent. They finally approved adding those officers' names to my complaint. Now we're at the process where we have to then go ahead and reserve each one of these defendants and the new complaint, and they have to have those properly done and in a timely manner. I believe we have until the end of April to get all of that done. With the 6-month stay, the motions to dismiss that that all the defendants are expected to submit to the judge have to be into her by September 1st, and she will rule on them then. It's a long process. This is a very long process. It's not a quick fix. It's a civil complaint. It's not a criminal case. There is so much that goes into it. It's different than what the Bundys and everyone that was involved in Oregon and in Nevada went through. This is not a criminal. This is a civil case. My lawyer is Morgan Philpott. He's the attorney that helped Ammon in Oregon as well as in Nevada to secure their not guilty verdict and to help with the dismissal with prejudice down in Nevada. And I'm very happy with Morgan and Rick, who are helping me with this case. But they are not a firm. And so they don't have the big bucks that can handle this case like other large firms can do on a pro bono type thing, or until they receive their percent at the end of the case. It doesn't work that way for me right now, because that is not, Morgan isn't in a firm. He's in a law firm by himself with his assistant Rick. And I hope that some people will understand what that means, because I've been hearing some things that people don't understand why I have to come up with money to help pay for my legal representation. And it's just not like the previous trials. It's just, and nobody wanted to touch this case to begin with, because, you know, you look into the beginning when everybody was being label lynched in the press and everybody was being demonized and nobody wanted to take any of these cases. We were like the plague. But then you had a change of administration and you had President Trump that came in, and things started to change. The tone and tenor of things started to change, you know. But due process is something that we must all fight for. We must all fight for the right to this due process. My husband was robbed of his due process. He was murdered with no charges, with no laws broken, and stated so by the Oregon State Police. In part 2, you will see that if you come to Lavoie Dead Man Talking part 2. But we've been watching this in the press for the past 3 years, how they've demonized and label lynched our president, how they've demonized and label lynched people he's tried to call to the bench, like Kavanaugh or the Catholic boys. It goes on and on and on. This label lynching, this lack of due process afforded to anybody who is not, you know, on the political side that the Democrats are on. They're completely politically biased when it comes to anything that is out there. And I'm discouraged with that keeps going. And I am in the Catholic boys camp. I am cheerleading them on. I hope they take CNN and everybody else responsible for what they've done to court, and I hope they get justice, and I hope they get everything they ask for, because this has got to stop. We should not be tried in the press. We have a court system, we have a legal system, and we should be afforded that. That is our right as citizens of this country, to due process. And that is what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for my husband Lavoie, and that's what I'm fighting for you. And that's what our family is determined to do, is to go and have this trial and to find the evidence that we know. Oh my gosh, you saw what has just recently happened with the president and the investigation. He has been found completely innocent. But what have they done for the last 3 years in reference to this Russia incident? But that is the same. The illegal activities of the FBI and the DOJ, they need to be called out. They need to be called out. They need to be held accountable. They were also the same people involved when Lavoie was murdered. James Comey, Loretta Lynch. It's the same group of individuals. And I am determined, my family is determined, to make sure that we see justice done in this case. And it's not just my case. It is the American people's case. We need to stand. We need to stand firm. And I want to say thank you to all of you who continue to help me. It's getting hard. It's getting hard to continue to raise funds for this legal battle that we're in. But we're determined, and we're going to keep pushing forward. But thank you. Thank you to those who continue to support me and my family. And I continue to remember what Lavoie said to me, you know, before I left that day, the day before he was killed. The day and a half before he was killed, I left to come home for my daughter's basketball game. And he said, Jeanette, have faith, take courage, God is in charge. He is. I'm reminded of that as I come back from church. I am reminded that God is always in charge of all the things, of all the little things in our life, and even the big things. And I watch the strength of different individuals. You know, I didn't think that President Trump could understand what it was that we were going through in the beginning, but after watching him endure for the last 2 years in his presidency, the same thing that we here in the West, with the Bundys and this incident up in Oregon, we have endured, the same label lynching in the press, the same raking over the coals, the same abuse of power on the press's position and other authorities and the Democrats and the different people who continue to be biased in reference to these issues. We are aware, and I believe that he is now aware of us. And that's evident through the fact that he found the Hammonds, that they were innocent, and that he wanted to pardon them, and that he gave them back their range rights. I am encouraged that he too will one day have an opportunity to hear our case and to hear our side and to see the truth come out. The FBI has been corrupted. The FBI is negligible and is responsible for my husband's death, murder. the Oregon State Police officers who were involved that day, and the Oregon State Police within itself is also responsible for the death of little boy. And so we will continue to press forward. We're going to keep going forward. And I thank you again for your support. I thank you for the love and kindness that you continue to show our family. And I wish you all a happy Sunday. And God bless. Bye.